Now, so I've seen two different arguments from my Black Hebrew brothers and sisters with regards to West Africa. Some discard West Africa completely. They are not our people. You know what I'm saying? And some go as far as to say that the rest of the West Africans sold those who were exclusively Israelite. They knew that we were not them, right? You know what I'm saying? That's why we were sold. Yeah. Then there are others who say, well, actually, all of West Africa is not us, but some are, and they pick out a few, you know, like the Ashanti. Some of her say the Igbo and the Yoruba. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And then when like I find it very difficult for them to be specific beyond that point in terms of exactly because it wasn't just the Ashanti, the Igbo, and the Yoruba that were transported. You have to deal with the Evwe, the Fon, you know what I'm saying, and all these other groups, right? The Mandingo, you know what I'm saying, and all these things, yeah. But your chapter says deals with the 70 AD supposed migration
But I do want
to West Africa. Go
I
ahead.
definitely want to address that. It's easy. 2 seconds. Every person who claims to be a Jew is a convert. That's it. Because Judaism was not established until during the Hellenistic period. You see, Judaism is the formation of what they call a codex, a canon, where you have all these books together. No Jewish person was following the laws, the dietary laws, and all that stuff, and then following all the books, what you call the laws of Moses and all that stuff, and following the dietary laws, following the laws for the this and all of that. They weren't doing that. That is later on in the Hellenistic period when they formed that. So now, for those who are in West Africa, they claim to be lost of the lost tribes. The lost tribe story stems from the Assyrians taking a few people from the northern tribes to Assyria who worked for them and who we documented them. And those Israelites actually owned slaves too, by the way. But anyway, that time happened in the 7th century or 8th century BC. Before the 8th century, there was no Torah. There was no book. So what would the West Africans have known? Now watch this. Judaism stems out of the people in the 2nd century, 1st century BC who formed a unification to try to have oneness with what they believe in. So you had different groups, Pharisees, Sadducees, you had the Zealots, you had the Essenes, you had different groups, but you always had a group that deal with the religious part of the whole argument. That's documented. You have different periods in Judaism. You have the Amorrhean period. You have the Tanaitic period. You have the I think it's called the Gulat or the Tulat period or something like that. But the point I'm trying to make to you is Judaism stems and basically comes out of what's called rabbinical Judaism. Rabbinical Judaism is the root to every single person you have ever heard in Europe, in Africa, following Judaism stems from that. How do I know? When you look at the Sephardic Jews and they were practicing in the early 1600s, they had synagogues in their houses. They followed the Talmud. You understand? All the people in Jamaica who started synagogues, they followed the Talmud. The Talmud. All of them in Curacao, anywhere they went, they followed the Talmud. The Africans who were converted, because by the way, to Judaism is a converting religion. It's all about you doing trade with me. So in order for the Berbers converted, because I don't trust you unless you're gonna follow these set of laws that I put in front of you. So that's what it's all about. It's all about converting. Judaism is a converting religion, ladies and gentlemen. There is no Africans originally that are Jews. It's not true. It is totally not true. They have something called the Majorcan Jews who had the Atlas, and they documented everywhere they were. There's even a document that they found where they said that the first Jews in Africa, there was some Jews in Algeria, which they call the Tamantit community. They said they were the first white people in Africa. Come on. So, I mean, if people want to talk about the Jews and they sleeping with the African women and creating babies to try to create a bond between the African chiefs so they could create a trade, that's a whole other thing about the Luso Africans. And those children, of course, they are converted, and converts have converts. So you're gonna have Africans who are familiar with Judaism. But how you determine where they're from, guess what? Not one Jew in the history of Africa and Europe anywhere followed the New Testament. None of them were what you call today Messianic Jews. The Black Hebrew Israelites
Most of them are
are
Messianic Jews.
primarily
Yeah.
Messianic. They
Most,
made it
yeah.
up. They made it up in the 1800s.
All right. Well, family, I look forward to seeing your papers and your books in rebuttal to this information. I look forward to reading it as sure I look forward to reading this book here. Once again, Misconceptions and Misinformation by the Black Hebrew Israelites, Volume 1. Now, the good thing about being in a bookshop when you're conducting an interview like this is that there's plenty book in other place. And one of the books that is most popular among my Black Hebrew brothers and sisters is this one by Rudolph Windsor, From Babylon to Timbuktu. Yeah, this is a favorite. And this is one of them books that actually promotes the idea that the Ashanti are, in fact, originally Hebrews. Do you address this book at all in your book?
Yeah, the chapter on 70 AD and 1 million to West Africa, I addressed the fact that he said that 1 million Jews went into West Africa. I think that has to be updated. I'm not saying my author, my brother, my fellow author is wrong, but you just got to update the information. That's all. Our elders had what they had to work with at that time. Today we have Google, we have all type of libraries we can go into. So it's not about correcting the elders. It's about up up upgrading the information. That's all we're doing. The truth of the matter is, my brother, when the Jews in the 70 AD war, they said Josephus said 1 million actually died. 1.1 million actually died. Now, if 1.1 million died and not going to West Africa, where did this come from? Now, watch this. They had a war called the Kittus War. The Jews participated in that and were actually beating up the Romans to the fact where they were actually cannibalistic. They would eat the Romans and actually take their skin off and wear it like clothes. So that's a part of the Judaism that a lot of people don't talk about. But I want to know if these Black Hebrew Israelites would agree that they're part of the whole Kittus War people. But anyway, watch this. If 1 million Jews went into West Africa and they were exiled, how comes during the Bar Kokhba revolt, which was 135 AD, 65 years later, 500,000 people died? How? Where did those 500,000 Jews come from? You see, the truth of the matter is, family, we are not scholars in the Hebrew Israelite community. We, not me. We as in them. I am saying is that they need someone, they need scholars to fact check what's going on and get the information right. If you feel you are a Jew from the past, no one can deny you whatever you want to claim. That's your own thing. But to say that you're a bloodline and actually to be a bloodline from somebody that actually didn't even exist is craziness. And then to condemn other women on the street, calling them the B word, the H word, and all these different words, and disrespecting our sisters and disrespecting our black men, and then say, oh, we have the truth. You don't have the truth. Another stupidity, and I have to add this in. Let me finish the 70 AD thing first. The 70 AD, what the conclusion is in my book is that the Jews who were not killed moved northward. So they left from Judah or Jerusalem and went northward to a place called Pella, where a lot of them lived, and then they would come down eventually. Some of them were given permission to come back in Jerusalem to celebrate holidays and so forth. So they were not exiled. And it actually is a story that was probably created by the Christians. All right. But I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna leave that one there.
Interesting, interesting. All right, we're gonna draw to a close soon, yeah. But I want to know from you, what do you think the broader impact of these narratives that you're challenging at the moment has been on our people? Like, why do we need to challenge the? Is it important? Like, some might say this is ridiculous. Like, we have started talking about education and economics and whatever. Why is it important to challenge these narratives?
Because our social standing has been put at the bottom of the totem pole. Instead of we saying, hey, we want to unite as a people and make a move, all we want to do is say, yo, me have the truth, so me gonna see some hereafter or some heaven. So I basically want you to join my wait and see program. The wait and see program, ladies and gentlemen, you're waiting for Jesus to come back. This is what the slave master gave the slaves. I said, don't worry, you might be mistreated today, but God is coming back. Jesus is coming back. There's no one coming back. There's no one coming back, ladies and gentlemen. And for the record, all Hebrew Israelites are, Moors, everybody else that's not a Christian, they're what I call exile Christians. Because they all hold to somebody coming back. Nation of Islam, which I was connected to for 8 years, they're waiting for somebody to come back. They're waiting for somebody to come back in a spaceship. Wait and see program. Everything has to do with, oh, let's wait for this to happen. While they're on the ground making money through different Ponzi schemes on Wall Street and doing different things, making all the money, carrying on riches. The DuPont family, who was a major part of the slave trade, rich till them can't rich no more. Them all kill somebody in the DuPont family and them have to get special escort to take the people them out and arrest them. Them not even want to put handcuffs on them people. With them so powerful. So now, ladies and gentlemen, you can continue to wait. But social advancement, our social advancement is more important than any belief system that you have. Because you know why? You can't guarantee it. You can't guarantee you're going to come back to life after dying. You can't guarantee nothing in your religious belief. But I tell you this, I guarantee you, if 10 black men walk down the block for 5 days in a row, I guarantee you one of them might be harassed by a supremacist, a white supremacist, a police officer or something. I could guarantee you that. But I can't guarantee you nothing in any of these religions. And all you're doing is having people gather, get the numbers together in a lesser Jim Jones-ish type of role. Not a Jim Jones where you're going to drink the Kool-Aid and kill everybody off. But these cults, we got to put an end to these cults. These cults have ruined us. And what these cults have done since the 1930s is organize people. And then what they'll do, they'll build a store and they'll feed the homeless a couple times and say, yeah, but you're doing everything that the Christian church is doing. So that's why I call you an exile Christian. That's all you are. And then we blame the church and say the church wrong. But the church does more than any other group out there. But you want to replicate what they do to say that you're doing for the people. But you're not doing anything extra. And that's in the book. I lay out a plan where they could do more than what the church do. An economic plan where they could unite and create their own fund so they could buy their own abandoned towns and do different things and unite their dollars. I put a plan in the book. There's a plan there for you. I'm not telling you to leave your religion and leave your cult. I'm saying as a group, there's something positive that you can be known for. And it's laid out in the book.
What it do, Sober Soldier, salute. This is Stick from Dead Prayers with my partner, M1. And you are in tune to GotkushTV.